One thing, I'm not wearing makeup and I look like trash, and I felt like it was very appropriate for this video considering that in college everybody looks like trash, nobody gives a crap about what they look like, and I want to give you the most realistic version of myself that I could give you. What's up guys, Belle's back here. So today I'm going to be giving you a candid, real-time talk just about anything about college. And for incoming freshmen, I hope this is helpful to you whether you're going to a public school or a private university. I attend the University of Michigan, if you can't tell by my millions of videos. But yeah, the reason why I'm making this video is because when I was an incoming freshman and I had no idea just about things like personal stuff and things that you can't necessarily find out just from reading a little article on your school's homepage, I thought it was useful to look at these types of videos. So I feel like I have my own kind of wisdom from freshman year that I like to share. So today I'm going to be talking about a lot more personal stuff, how to get involved in campus, and all those other questions that I feel like every freshman is dying to know. So if you're interested, then just make sure to keep watching. The way that I'm going to be breaking up this video, I think, is based off of academics, lifestyle / dorms, friends, and like social scene, and then extracurriculars and just getting involved in campus. So also I have things written down on my phone just because there's a lot to talk about. And if this is a really long video, I apologize. So the first thing that I'm going to talk about, which I feel like nobody stressed to me, which is so important, which is also why I'm putting out this video like this time of year, is when you go to your school for orientation, make sure you are careful in picking out your classes, especially if you have no idea what your major is. Make sure every credit that you are taking is meaningful and that it is applying towards your distribution of credits. For instance, like I'm a business major, so I'm required to take social science classes, like humanities and all those, but if I was taking a random class that didn't fulfill those distribution requirements, like that's not good considering that you need a certain amount of credits in those distributions in order to graduate. So just make sure that you talk to your advisors at orientation and that you really try to schedule your orientation dates if you go to a public school earlier so that you have better pick for classes. And since you all are incoming freshmen, if you took AP classes and your school accepts credit for it, make sure that you look into seeing if your AP scores give you credit for classes. Since I came in with about 30 credits, meaning that I was basically an incoming sophomore, like sophomore standing, even though I was a freshman, which gave me priority for registering for classes. So just make sure that you guys are aware of that when you're registering. That is just something that I want to emphasize right off the bat. I got questions asking me about how hard it is to achieve academically at my school. So like I said, I go to the University of Michigan. I think this is definitely something more unique to your university, and I don't really know how this applies to every single school. But the only thing that I would say is, yes, I think college is hard, but personally to me, I felt like my high school was very rigorous. So, and I went to a public school, but it was like a pretty rigorous public school. I don't feel like college is harder necessarily than high school, but I do feel like the balance between your social life and your academic life is a lot harder to manage in college just because you're constantly surrounded by other kids, so there's a lot of FOMO. Constantly feel like you're missing out if you're not hanging out with your friends and you're studying. That's just something that you have to be aware of. The other thing that I would say is it's a lot different because your GPA in college is very different. It's usually the same at most schools. Like a 3.7 is an A-, so not everybody's gonna have a 4.0 unless you're getting flat A's and A pluses. So GPA doesn't matter as much in college, which I think is a big transition for people. Like my first semester, that like really scared me, basically the fact that an A- is a 3.7. But it's something to be aware of. Like nobody gets a 4.0. If you do, that's great, but like you don't need to set yourself at that standard. For the most part, in your 4-credit, 3-credit classes, like those are a little bit harder and more difficult. You're usually gonna have like 3 exams or like a few midterms, and that is basically like a good 70-80% of your grade outside of participation, whatever quizzes or something you have. So that is another adjustment that was harder for me to make because I felt like if I screwed up on an exam in high school, I could make it up through like busy work, but that's not really an option in college. So like when it comes to exam season, like you really have to buckle down. Second thing that I feel like I get a lot of questions about that I was a little bit worried about adjusting to is just the lifestyle kind of in the dorm and living with a roommate. So obviously this depends on if you're living with one roommate, 2 roommates, and if you're living in a single, like you don't have to worry about this, I guess. but if you can, I would room with someone. I think it's a great learning experience, especially for college, and it's nice to have a friendly face in the beginning of the year when you don't really know anyone. So I don't know how everybody else is doing it with their roommates, but I personally was happy I didn't go in blind, but I was happy I wasn't rooming with someone from my town. So the way I met my roommate was through Facebook. We just connected and we had similar interests. The reason why I'm talking about roommates is because in the beginning of the year, you'll see a lot of people are really excited with their roommates, even if they don't know them and they go in blind. Like, everybody's super excited about having a roommate, and then, like, honestly, now that I've left the year, like, I know so many people that were just tired of their roommates by the end of the year. They both aggravated each other too much. Like, they just realized they weren't that similar. A lot of people were closer in the beginning of the year, and they end up not being as close to their roommate at the end of the year. And, like, personally, that I did not have that experience at all. My roommate and I actually stayed pretty tight the entire year. I consider her one of my best friends to this day, from college, and I'm really glad that it worked out that way. And I will say that I think the only reason why that happened was because we were both really respectful of each other. When you are someone's roommate, like, this is something that I feel like is just common sense. Like, there are just some rules that you are literally unspoken that people just need to be aware of. She would constantly be FaceTiming her boyfriend, which is completely fine, but, like, she was really respectful of, like, if I'm studying in the room, if I'm watching TV in the room, if I'm doing anything that requires, like, somewhat concentration, like, she would step out of the room and talk to her boyfriend, which is respectful. Or, like, whenever I would be on the phone with my mom, like, I'd go outside. It's just things like that. Like, people can get annoyed a lot by that, and just being aware that you have another person living in your room, like, that's just like common sense. The last thing that I want to talk about with dorm life, and like welcome week and things like that, you will get sick. Like, it is inevitable that you will not get sick. I basically wasn't sick at all second semester, and I think that that's because I slept a lot more. But first semester, I didn't sleep at all, I swear. Like, welcome week, oh my god, I got so sick. I had the worst cough. I was coughing for, I think, the first 3 months of school, and I probably annoyed my roommate so much because she got sick too. And that's the other thing, if you get sick, your roommate totally gets sick because you're trapped into like a rectangular box together. But I was so sick, and that's the thing, when someone gets sick in your hall, like, everybody gets sick. So I would constantly have, like, Dayquil, NyQuil with you, check into your university, like, health services, UHS or whatever, but yeah, constantly have a constant supply of, like, vitamin C, take your vitamins, emergency, like, all those different things. Just be aware that if someone gets sick in your hall, like, you need to cover yourself with all those antioxidants, like, antibiotics, like, I don't even know. Third part of the video, I get a lot of questions also about making friends in college and just kind of picking out, like, it's difficult to make friends in college, like, I get it. I will say, obviously, like most people know, I joined a sorority, so, like, first semester, that was a big part of me making friends. But also, we're at my university, you don't rush sorority till after the first month of school. So my friends that I had, I made at orientation. So that's another thing I would recommend when you go to orientation. Try to meet a lot of people. Like, you would be surprised, even if you go to a giant school like I do in Michigan, where there's, like, almost 40,000 undergrad, like, all the people that I met at orientation and just people that I recognize, like, I still see them around campus. Like, for going to a giant school, I still see a bunch of these people around campus. So try to make friends at orientation. Keep your door open in your hall, whether it's a mixed gender hall or if it's single sex. Like, just keep your door open when people walk by, say hi. I know it's, like, really weird, everybody's really awkward, but if you think about it, everybody is in the same footsteps, like, everybody is in the same shoes that you are in. Like, everybody's feeling nervous, wanting to make friends. So as long as you're welcome and, like, open-minded to people, they'll return the favor back to you. This was a worry of mine in the beginning, like, going to the dining hall and sitting by yourself. Like, that's just a stupid worry to have. Like, I was worried about them in the beginning, like, oh my god, if I'm sitting alone by myself eating lunch or breakfast, like, people are gonna think I'm so weird and not have any friends. Like, no, it makes sense if you think about it, it makes sense throughout the year. If you're sitting by yourself and you just finished a class, like, not all of your friends are gonna have the exact same school schedule as you, so it's okay to catch a meal by yourself. And, like, if you don't want to look like a complete loser, like, just go on your phone or go on your computer, read a book, do something to preoccupy yourself. But otherwise, like, I wouldn't, like, give a crap about what people think. Like, everybody is doing it, everybody eats a meal by themselves. Like, in high school, people would, like, judge you if you ate by yourself. I know that's how they would do it at my school, but, like, in college, nobody cares. Like, everybody's too preoccupied with their own business to care about you. So if you're in small classes, like really try to make friends through that. So my first semester, I was in like 3 or 4 classes that had about like 20 or less students. So I became decently acquainted with them. Even if you don't have their numbers, like follow them on social media, get their Snapchat, take advantage of things like that, because when you like connect with someone over social media, it sounds so like cliche and stupid, but like when you see them in the halls or you see them walking around campus, like they'll smile at you. It's nice to have a friendly face once in a while. Like even though those classes are over this last semester, like I still said hi to all of them. Like when I go out, I'd see them. So those are just things to keep in mind, because second semester I had basically all my classes were giant lectures, so I didn't make that many new friends, which kind of sucked. Going out and meeting new people, it's really fun. A lot of people like to do it. You definitely don't have to go out if you don't want to. Like I'm not projecting that on anyone, I'm just saying like I get a lot of questions about it. And I don't really feel like I need to talk about Greek life really, because a lot of people already know about it. Like that's one way to go out and meet people, kind of. And if you don't want to participate in that, I get a lot of questions about that, like if they think that they should join a sorority. If not, I would say like if you're social and like you want to meet a lot of girls and get a good solid girl group, same with guys, if you want to get a good solid like guy friend group, maybe rush a sorority, rush a frat, see if you vibe with the guys or girls there. And if not, then like drop. It doesn't matter, like nobody cares if you're in a sorority or not. Then to talk to people who aren't involved in Greek life or who don't want to be involved in it but still want to go out, depending on your university and what they have, there's different options. I know a lot of people go out to bars in Michigan. Obviously that only works if you're 21 or over, but a lot of bars will have 18 and up nights, so usually most people can go to that. I was 17 in the beginning of the year, so because I'm young, I'm 17 turning 18, so that was kind of annoying, couldn't get into anything. But yeah, there are a lot of 18 and up nights at different bars. I go to Michigan, so like Ann Arbor is a very big college town. There's a lot of bar life. So the only thing that I can say about that is obviously if you're not 21 yet and they don't have an 18 and up night, that kind of sucks. Don't think that you can only go out by going to bars or by going to or being involved in Greek life. Like any organization that you join, any club, any social group that you join, like literally every extracurricular, any sports team too, like they'll all have like their own get-togethers, social events, parties, whatever. So like anything that you join, I'm telling you, like there will be things to go to, so like I wouldn't worry too much about that. It's just all gonna kind of depend on what you get yourself involved in. So this kind of leads me to my next point, which is the last thing I'm going to be talking about because this video is going on for so long. It's just extracurriculars. So like I said, depending on what you join, like that could be your friend group and the group that you go out with too, because like I don't like going out personally unless I'm with my friends really, because that's the only way that it makes it fun. I'm also part of a professional business fraternity, which definitely starting second semester that became like my core group of friends. Like I love being in professional Greek life. I would completely recommend it for whether you're in Greek, like normal social Greek life, or if you're not involved in it. For a lot of people that are kind of like turned off by normal Greek life, like they find their place in professional Greek life, like business, like pre-law, pre-med, engineering, like all of those. It's really great for people who want to grow their network and who want to meet a lot of alumni. Not my internship this summer, but like another possible internship I was gonna do was from my business frat. Like most people that I meet in my business frat that have jobs lined up for them, it's because of the connections that they made from the past alumni in our business frat. So that's just another thing to keep in mind. Like you could be making really good professional connections, social connections, and you'll see all these people in your classes too, because they all have the same academic interests as you. The last thing that I want to talk about for getting involved on campus, there's obviously lots of different jobs you can do. You can work at the dining halls, you can work at the libraries, like you can earn a lot of money doing that. You can be a campus tour guide if you want. But a lot of people like to get involved on research. You can get paid to participate in research experiments. Also, if you want to do your own research, there's so many research communities depending on your university too. I'm sure every university has a bunch of research programs, so those are things that you should definitely look at to get involved in, and those are ways to get involved academically on campus. So I've been talking for like 25 minutes. I'm obviously going to edit out lots of stuff that I drowned on and on about, but I hope that was somewhat useful to you guys. And if you guys want me to delve deeper into any of these topics, or if you feel like I didn't address something that you think is really important, leave them in the comments down below. Ask me any more questions and I'll be happy to make more videos. Just leave me suggestions in the down bar below of any videos you'd like to see, college or not college related, I don't really care. I just want to be as candid and honest with you guys as possible, and I hope you guys really found that video useful, and if you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and I will see you guys sooner or later. Peace out.